Hello everyone, hope you're doing well today. The battle for Britain's soul continues, and the latest to take a shot is star of the progressive movement of the age, Zack Polanski, leader of the Green Party. He's done a recital of Benjamin Zephaniah's poem, The British. Now, some of you with some familiarity with the creative arts may remember Benjamin Zephaniah. To be honest, he was never really a very good poet. He's just black and kind of has these Rasta vibes and speaks to all of the liberal shibboleths of the age, so he was something of a hero, seen as a genius by the Guardianista types, a modern-day Allen Ginsberg, who also, by the way, was a creep, although at least you could say Allen Ginsberg actually had some talent, even if he was a subversive degenerate. Anyway, I'll try and break this recital up for you slightly so you can bear the cringe that bit more. It is bordering on cringe terrorism, this, so brace yourselves. For context, it starts with Robert Jenrick's quote about Birmingham recently, which Uncle Zack just can't handle, as you'll see.
I went to Handsworth in Birmingham the other day. It was absolutely appalling. It's as close as I've come to a slum in this country.
Add lots of Norman French to some Angles, Saxon, Jutes and Vikings, then stir vigorously.
Oh, okay, started off relatively reasonably. Might be giving the Vikings a little too much emphasis there. Didn't have that much admixture left over compared to the other groups, but I'm nitpicking. Play on, Zack.
Mix some hot Chileans, cool Jamaicans, Dominicans, Trinidadians and Bajans.
Chileans? There's not even 10,000 of them in the country. Of course, I expected the West Indians, but already we can see where this is going. Basically, it's just multicultural dogma. Everybody's exactly the same in modern Britain, no matter where you're from.
With some Ethiopians, Chinese, Vietnamese and Sudanese.
Sounds wonderful.
Then take a blend of Somalians, Sri Lankans, Nigerians and Pakistanis and turn up the heat. Sprinkle some fresh Indians.
Dear Lord.
Malaysians, Bosnians, Iraqis and Bangladeshis.
Yeah, I mean, what could go wrong?
Together with some Palestinians, then add to the melting pot. Leave the ingredients to simmer. As they mix and blend, allow their languages to flourish, binding them together with English.
Yeah, don't know if that language is going to make much sense.
Allow time to be cool. Add some unity, understanding and respect for the future, serve with justice, and enjoy.
Yes, it's all very wonderful and Guardianista, isn't it? It has the flavour of the sort of poem that an English teacher living in a 99% white enclave in the Cotswolds enjoys. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but an interesting thing about Zephaniah's poem is that he decided not to include Jews in his wonderful mixture of modern Britain. You would have thought that might bother Zacky boy. After all, he changed back his name because he said the bigotry was so great, he wanted to stand up to it. I mean, he's so upset by Robert Jenrick's comments about Birmingham, he has to hang his head in shame at the beginning of his poem recital, yet he hasn't mentioned at all that Jewish fans can't go to Birmingham to watch their team play against Aston Villa because it might wind up the locals. It seems like Jenrick might have had a point after all, eh, Zack? No, it's probably just angry middle-aged white men. Let's just go with the Gary Neville line on everything. That's the correct line. But anyway, I'm just a stupid old bigot, what do I know? Let's go and ask someone who knows what they're talking about. The youth of London, yeah? Let's see what they got to say about diversity in the melting pot, yeah?
I feel like it takes the piss when they come into the country and then they build their own community and they think that they have their, let's say for instance, Ilford Lane. That's the one place I could really think of, I'll be honest. They've taken over to the point where the British don't even want to live there no more. They move out to Dagenham, they move out to Essex because they want to get the fuck away from it.
What a disgusting, bigoted young man. He must have been listening to those angry middle-aged men. He needs a good dose of adolescence in Benjamin Zephaniah's back catalogue.
They're buying everyone out. They're trying to make their own shops, flushing money through the shops, washing money, dirty money, everything. And they keep things behind closed doors when it comes to all sorts of stuff. Let's face it, you know, that's how it be within their community, you know what I'm saying? English don't want that no more. Even, no offence, even the Eastern Europeans to a degree, but then there's a different type of work rate. They're not lazy, they're not just keeping things between themselves, they're still got to give back to the community. But when you think about the Asians now, or certain others, you know what I'm saying, they come along.
That's quite enough from you, you little bigot. I dare say we'll be seeing him in a gulag, set for reprogramming soon. Let's try and brighten things up with a trip to Whitechapel. Highly diverse part of London. Matt Goodwin's been hitting the streets there, finding out what real Britishness means.
Prime Minister has just come out and he said, what does it mean to be British? What do you think?
Because I speaking English no very well, because I not possible, repeat me. Thank you, sorry.
I think that guy was speaking that new language that Benjamin Zephaniah was on about.
What does it mean to be British?
Yeah. What do you associate with Britishness?
I actually don't know, you know.
What does it mean to be British? What would you say to that? What do you think it is that makes somebody British?
No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Okay.
Now, to save you some time, the whole video is basically like this until Goodwin stumbles upon some liberal white women who dutifully repeat the state propaganda.
Make somebody British or not?
No, I think everybody's here, everybody's British.
Yep. Okay. What about like speaking English? Is that important? Speaking the language?
It is anymore. No.
Okay.
Now, this sums up why Benjamin Zephaniah is so popular with the liberal elite. It's not because he's some rebel from the streets calling out the bigotry of the modern day, yo. It's because he parrots the talking points of the globalist liberal regime and the wants and demands of money power. He's basically a useful idiot. After all, if people like Zephaniah actually cared about the cultures like they pertain to, they wouldn't throw them all in one big pot and mix them together. That's a recipe for disaster. Cultures need space to breathe and develop. And again, yeah, like a meal, you cook it slowly. You have a few very specific ingredients and you cook it over time. You don't just throw your weekly shop into one big pot and mash it all together. And this is the sleight of hand that the multicultural propagandists play. They pertain to be so interested in the cultures of the world and so deeply embedded within them. But the reality is it's all driven by a hard, material, secular, political left-wing ideology at its root. As we've explored many times on this channel, cultures, properly understood, are sacred. They take centuries to develop. They're the results of very specific people in time and space, utilising their own specific mythology interweaved into broader religious, cultural and national structures intertwined with historical events that define a given people. They're like a tree or a flower. Roots need soil to go deeply into, and if you just pile every culture in together, all the roots are just going to interact and block each other, and you get no real growth, no real beauty. But this is all part of the zeitgeist of the age, the dominant ideology, namely progressivism, where we've sacrificed the sacred for ideological utopianism. It means our elites have no real spiritual sensitivity to see that people like Benjamin Zephaniah aren't some misunderstood genius, but a left-wing ideologue with all the grace when dealing with delicate subjects like national and cultural mythology of a bull in a china shop. Such is the way of the modern world. Remember many years ago, Peter Hitchens was on Question Time and asked to recite a poem, and he beautifully recited A.E. Housman's The Land of Lost Content, and I memorised it after that because I thought it was such a wonderful poem that just flows off the tongue and really speaks to true England. It goes as follows. Into my heart an air that kills, from yon far country blows. What are those blue remembered hills? What spires, what farms are those? That is the land of lost content, I see it shining plain, the happy highways where I went, and cannot come again. I think that sums up the soul of England that many of us feel at this present time rather than Mr. Zephaniah's work. However, there is always hope, as I often say, right in the middle of the chaos. The answers are often found. At the pit of decline is the new beginning. As always, do let me know what you think down below. Do check out the sister channel on spiritual and personal transformation. Do also join the Substack if you wish, exclusive content, or just want to connect with me, or join the monthly calls. On top of that, do subscribe to this channel if you're new. Enjoy the rest of your day.